I can't afford to not record.
Welcome to the BYOK Live, where we discuss the trending stories, strangest dilemmas, and real life topics. Okay now, lovelies, let's get into some things. Hello. It is Renita from BYOK, and it is 10:55 Eastern Time on October 18th. So I am so excited to announce that BYOK will be playing on the Fluent Radio platform in the third week of November. What is that? See, I didn't even have any dates ready. It will probably be the 22nd of November, Thanksgiving week. So super excited about that. I'm rearranging my schedule. I feel like I'll go live on Tuesday and Wednesday, maybe a little bit more because BYLK will be on a break for the next after Tuesday of next week. We'll be on a 2-week sabbatical, but that's okay. I'll still try to have some things ready for you to watch and just replay some old episodes for you to just tune into while I'm gone. So, how was your Wednesday? This was a pretty good Wednesday for me. Pretty busy, but not to the point of like exhaustion. It's like a good busy, where you're just getting into some things that I've been trying to get into. So it's been a pretty good Wednesday. So let me know how your Wednesday has been so far. Well, your week. Today is Tuesday. First of all, my bad. Well, let me know how your day has been because it's clearly the end of the day. All right. With all of that being said, if you are on YouTube, please subscribe, hit that like and notification button. You can always follow me on all social media platforms at Be Your Own Kind 24, and be sure to connect on the website www.beyourownkind.com. Also, if you love my content and you love what I do and you want to support the platform, go to kofi.com/beyourownkind24, which is ko-fi.com/beyourownkind24. Okay, y'all, let's get into the show. I feel like that was a little speedy than normal. Did it feel like it was a little fast? I feel like it was. Okay, so yesterday, like last night, I stayed up to like 1 o'clock in the morning trying to binge watch this show called The Watcher on Netflix. Have you seen it? It is very quirky, and it's about like basically somebody sending letters, like cryptic letters, to get people to pretty much sell this beautiful house or whatever. And so this was kind of loosely based on a true story, which I find very disturbing. And courtesy of the Inquirer, it says the Watcher adds a pinch of showbiz to the true story of the Broaddusses. So it says, as insane as this sounds, the most crucial element of The Watcher are true. The Broaddusses, renamed the Braddocks, the Netflix true crime series, received scary letters, had creepy neighbors, and never caught the person who was terrorizing their lives. Everything else, well, that's showbiz, baby. In reality, Derek and Maria Broaddus never even moved into the house after receiving the most horrifying anonymous letter of all time. Only in Hollywood do characters do brazenly dumb things like not selling the house immediately. In real life, you get the hell out. Well, I'm glad to know that in real life, they didn't stay there and be terrorized. And there was like a tunnel in the house. And I love like mysteries and things like that. So I was super intrigued, only to be upset. Like, man, like who did this? Like, we'll never know, whatever, unless they do a second season. I mean, why not? So, before the new Netflix series, their story was made famous after it was published in The Cut. It all started back in 2014 when the Broaddusses closed on a $1.3 million 6-bedroom house at 655 Boulevard in Westfield, New Jersey. Maria Broaddus grew up in the neighborhood, and the family was moving out of New York to raise their 3 children. It was 2 children in the show. Derek Broaddus was a senior vice president at an insurance company who had just celebrated his 40th birthday. The family planned to do renovations on the house before moving in, and they would only drive in from the city to meet with the contractors to decide on paint Samples. It was during this time that the Broaduses started to receive threatening letters. One night at around 10 p.m., Derek was reading a letter addressed anonymously from a new neighbor signed The Watcher. The letter stated that the Watcher was waiting for the second coming of their house. What? Which belonged to their family for generations. They also asked, "Do you know what lies within the walls of 657 Boulevard? Why are you here?" Stating that they would find out. The Watcher chided with them about how the renovations would make the house unhappy, revealed that they were watching them and their children every day, and thanked them for bringing young blood to the house. "Once I know their names, I will call to them and draw to them to me," the letter read. Bone-chilling stuff and real. While there are some leads, including a neighbor who married someone who used to live at the property, the Watcher's identity was never uncovered. Of course, many events in the Netflix The Watcher, such as discovering secret tunnels and a neighbor hiding in your house, were completely fabricated for the series. There also was never any murder that took place in a house across the street. The Broaduses simply stopped bringing their children to the house and tried to sell as quick as possible. It took 5 years, but the family eventually sold the house in 2019. "After reading everything, there is no way I'm going in that house," a prospective buyer once told them, according to EW. The new family who moved into 657 Boulevard never received a single letter from the Watcher. The Broaduses still live in Westfield, just in a non-scary house. That is crazy. And I wonder why it was such an attack on the Broaduses and not the new buyer. But then they said that she grew up there, so maybe it was somebody that she personally knew. I don't know, child. But that that was a very spooky, yet entertaining show on Netflix. So if you are into stuff like that, please check out The Watcher on Netflix. Just please check them out. All right, so our next subject is about somebody I don't even know. When I heard of Bella Hadid, she was listed as the most beautiful person in the world. So this is all I know about this lady. But she has a TikTok sound that is triggering people with eating disorders. So it says problematic on courtesy of Daily Dot. Problematic on TikTok is a weekly column that unpacks the troubling trends that are emerging on a popular platform and runs on Tuesdays in the Daily Dot. I don't know. So let us crawl the web for you. Let's get to the point. In case you missed it, TikTok is obsessed with Bella Hadid, and now her voice has gone viral, but TikTokers aren't necessarily using it for good. A TikTok audio of Hadid saying, my name is Bella Hadid, has been used in over 40,000 TikTok videos. Many have used it to make jokes about themselves displaying model behavior, like being complimented for their natural features. But the majority of the trend pokes fun at behavior stereotypically associated with modeling, like disordered eating. Hadid's voice is heard over videos about TikTokers that saying that they only ate gum for breakfast, they don't eat breakfast, they're only drinking water during the day, they feel thinner after vomiting, and even refrain from eating from multiple videos. While these videos are clearly made in jest, they can be activating for those who have actual eating disorders. So it's not really funny. You know what I'm saying? So the TikToks are also harmful in general because they normalize disordered eating habits. So here is the sound, because I don't think I've ever heard it on my TikTok. I don't know why it's not in my algorithm, but I guess that's good. So let's hear what the sound says.
So my name is Bella Hadid.
So it said me watching the video under
my
this sound
name,
slightly triggered my eating disorder. So a lot of people are like I said, they're making jokes about it. However, it's triggering people that have eating disorders, which is not cool. Now, the irony of this is she has struggled with she's actually had eating disorders. And so a lot of people, I think this is why her name on the sound is associated with the eating disorders on TikTok. So it says Bella from the heart, only on health struggles, happiness, and everything in between. Sekhmet in Egyptian mythology was the goddess of war. We're not going to read all of that. Let's get into her health issue. So, where is it at? She's shield armor. basically she had health issues, and she here it is. Bella didn't dare speak to colleagues about depression, anxiety, and Lyme disease. So she had that. She blames a habit of people pleasing, but does not let the fashion world possess of what it looks like as don't ask, don't tell attitude about mental health. So basically, she experienced some mental health. I'm not going to read all of this. Some mental health and some physical health challenges, and I think this is why she is associated with eating disorders on TikTok. Look, that is nothing to really play about. That is a real thing. That is a real thing. And I know that TikTok has a lot of sensationalism going on with it, but we got to be careful. Like, even like as we go on into the show, we just got to be careful about the stuff that we put out there into the world, because you don't want to be like sending someone off the roof, you know. So let's get into a happy subject here. Courtesy of the Shade Room, Virginia Stand Up. Missy Elliott returns home to Portsmouth for her street dedication ceremony. Now, you probably have seen this all over. I think this is super dope. I think Missy Elliott is super dope. I think she should actually get the girls, all the rap ladies together, put them in a room and talk to them, because I've never known her to be in like an obvious feud. Anyway, so we need you, Missy. So anyway, so Portsmouth and Seven Cities community showed up and showed out for Missy Elliott. Today, the legend came home for her street dedication ceremony, and it was lit. Trey Songz was there, and Norfolk State University's band, along with others, performed in the parade. So this is her on the Missy Elliott Boulevard. This is the band. Oh, it's nice.
Thank Missy, her family, her support system for what she means to music, what she means to me, what she means to black people, black women, and black children. Thank Missy.
Okay, Trey. And you know, she's endured a lot. She's had a lot of physical complications too. But yet she still is pumping out dope music. She was before her time. Like, I really believe that Missy Elliott, hey, you gotta be quiet. That Missy Elliott really was before her time. So kudos to her. I'm glad that she is consistently and constantly getting her flowers while she is here. So before we get into another subject, let's get into a commercial.
Hey y'all, it's your girl Miss Michi checking in with my girl Renita from Be Your Own Kind. You know that's my sis. Make sure that you tune in every Thursday to the Blueprint Live at 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, live on Facebook and YouTube. And then you can catch me on Fluent Radio, Philly Jams 95.3, Indie 101.5, and Mixed Talk Media. And I'm available anywhere that you listen to podcasts, okay, and your radio shows. So get on it, okay? Let's do this. I love to connect with you and promote what you got going on. Let's get it. If you or someone you know would like to be a guest on the Blueprint Live, visit thebpmediacode.com today.
Hello. Okay, we're back. Make sure that you can connect with Miss Michi. She is on Instagram. She is on TikTok at Miss Michi at Miss Michi. If you want to email her for any of her services, you can go to contact@missmichi.com. Yes, I am a little tired today. If you're like, man, your energy is a little off, it is, because but that's okay. I'm here to give the show, and I'm actually talking about things that I didn't get a chance to like fully prepare, so bear with me. But I was talking with Miss Michi, speaking of Miss Michi, about Glorilla. Like, my first time even hearing about her was the song that she just did with Cardi B like a couple of weeks back, which I actually like. I like that song. However, apparently she's been out before. You know, she collaborated with Cardi B, and I don't know if the success of that hit has got people have her as a conversation. But this is basically what happened. So it says, founder of Power ENT breaks down F&F deal with Glorilla and also calls out Yo Gotti for trying to take credit away from him and Hitkidd. She doesn't own the song and never will. Why does everything from Memphis need to go to CMG? Okay, let's dive into it. Let's see what's going on so I can give my little opinion. So it says, neighbors, the F&F drama has social users a bit confused Sunday evening, like me. Although the song is what put Glorilla on a lot of listeners' playlists, it looks like litigation has begun between CMG, who Glorilla is signed to, and Anthony Holmes, who is Hitkidd, who reportedly owns the song and is refusing to give up the rights. And why should he? Kadeem Phillips, founder of Power Entertainment and longtime friend and business associate of Hitkidd, says Glow never owned the song. Kidd gave up 50% of the masters and 50% of the publishing for FNF directly to Glow. So she has 50% rights and he has 50% rights. So this is the context here. So he said, we actually did everything to protect Glow from the industry and herself. So Glow independently collects money for FNF. It's all hers. She just doesn't own the song and never will. We actually saved her from losing millions, and Glow was able to get a deal without having to sell her independent record. FNF was created to help all the girls, not for CMG. So it was to protect her so she can still get some income, because once you get into those record deals, they pretty much take a huge chunk of all of that you do. So they said they were protecting her. So Glow and Hitkidd gets 50% split evenly of all the money brought in on FNF. Unfortunately, CMG froze all of the money, even Glow's money, in their latest claim to us. So if she hasn't seen her money, tell her to ask her label about it, since she sold her masters and publishing to them. Oh no, Glow. No. Kadeem also called out Yo Gotti for not congratulating he and the Hitkidd for doing good business with Glow and wanting to take credit for the song's success. What is this song? Why would you not want to tell that story? Why does everything from Memphis need to go through CMG? Why does Gotti have to take credit for everything? Even Michael Jordan had to make room for Kobe Bryant, he wrote. Okay, they say, what are our thoughts? Well, let's read this. So Kadeem Phillips says, is this on one thing? Here it is. Let me address this from the business side, because I see a lot of confusion. End of the day, Anthony Holmes did great business. He gave up 50% of the masters. I think this is everything we just read. And 50% of the publishing for NFF directly to Glow. We actually did everything to protect Glow from the industry and herself. Okay, we read all of this. Is this everything that we just read? Luckily, Hitkidd still owns the song. Okay, we read all of that. So then it says, stop us from doing great business and creating a pipeline of successful for Memphis. This will definitely get handled, and was a pathetic way for a black man from Memphis to attack another black man from Memphis over a song he wasn't around to even help create. End of the day, we making the public to educate. This could have easily been you. Here, he calls out Yo Gotti and CMG. He says, my biggest question is why Gotti couldn't be happy for us. Two young black men from Memphis created something timeless independently by doing good business and smart deals with a group of women who no one would give the time of day but Hitkidd. Why would you not want to tell the story? Why does everything from Memphis need to go to CMG? We read that already. He said, why would anyone jump in the middle of something this special and destroy it for his own gain? Money, of course. Why is this the reality of our city? And we wonder why it took us years to get any recognition for our sound. Look at our so-called industry leaders. Anthony Holmes in the future of music. I plan to protect him at all costs. So this is the beginning of the saga. So far, from what I read, it looks like they're just like, why are you trying to taint this with greed? Taint this moment with greed. We were just trying to protect her. So, of course, as with anything on social media, it didn't end there. So, courtesy of the Neighborhood Talk, it says Monique stopped by the neighborhood to share her thoughts about Glorilla and Hitkidd situation. Now, what is she saying?
Before come like you talk about how people fuck you out of jail.
Okay, let's start over.
On everything I do. Yeah. He want to make it like he created me, and that's not what it is. He like I said, you could have gave that beat to anybody. Nobody was gonna make FNF but me. I was the only person that was gonna make FNF. So stop acting like you discovered me. I gave Hitkidd credit on multiple occasions. He's a great producer. He just do fuck shit. Like, and I was getting mad. Like I swear to God, I cried about this shit before. Come like you talked about how people fucked you out of deals, and you trying to do me the same way. Like we was cool before all this shit, and now you like this money and shit making you turn on me. Like you not trying to give me no percentage of the song. They lying on here like they trying to do 50-50 and they not. So it was crazy. Like that, I never brought the shit to the internet though. Like the man been on fuck shit since the first week it blew with Sweetie. The first day he signed it and didn't tell me he signed it. And now he all the label means with me knowing he signed it. So what the fuck? Like this is the problem. He want everything I do. Yeah. He want to make it like he created me. And
okay, we read that. So Monique Slaughter, who seems to be in everything,
it's not what
she says, girl, I do not effing get it, bro. It's called a split sheet and a writers association and a publishing house. How y'all noobs get in the game and don't know what the heck a split sheet is, bro? Like, it's irritating at this point because he signed what exactly? To who? For what? And how? And if he's not your manager, why is he in label meetings? He's a beat maker. He makes a beat. He gets a 50% pub split off top. If he had other producers help him, then it's up to him to allocate their percentages out of his 50%. If you are the sole composer, because there's a difference, composer is a writer who puts a melody to the lyrics, then the other 50% is yours. If you are just the writer, then you don't get 50. It's up to y'all to figure out how much your words to his beat and melody are worth percentage wise. Now, if you didn't pay for the beat, the studio time, and the engineer, then you own zero masters. He's a snake. Okay, well, you should have known how to handle your business, and his beat did create you. Without his beat, there is no F&F, and we wouldn't know you. Great perspective. So what she is saying is, you probably should have had a manager and not just taking his word for it. If you didn't put in or invest any money in this, then by right, you don't get any money out of it. But according to Hitkidd, she had 50%, so she could get money off of that. But apparently somehow CMG has taken over that 15%. Like, he never said he made her. He never said that. So I'm just kind of confused on where she's getting that from. So after all of that, he did say something else to her, and I believe that is the end of this, and then I'll give my little opinion on it. He couldn't go live anymore. So who is talking here? She says, Hitkidd speaks out to Glorilla's situation for the last time. So he says, to clear things up, I offer, courtesy of the Shade Room, I offered the opportunity for the girls to sign to me so I could still be involved in their careers legally if a deal was presented to them so people wouldn't mess them over. So he says he did this to protect her. I told them I didn't have any money to sign them, but would take care of them until I really had the funds. My initial plan was to turn them up and help them get signed. So truly, I'm not salty about nobody signing to anyone. This is about me offering $0. I cannot and have not made any money from F&F yet because it takes time for royalties and everything to add up. Also, I can only collect my portion of the song, which we know is 50%. I cannot and have not made any money from F&F yet because we read that already. Also, I put my manager on game on how to get her signed, but she is signed, so I don't know how she would be able to do that. I put her as a primary artist in F&F because it would help her. I was wrong to not have mentioned beforehand that I was doing a distribution deal for the album that we all would agree to, but that F&F is a part of. But nevertheless, I told her about the $50K advance, which I don't owe any of the girls, but I was going to break bread after the project just because I have ownership of the song, so I can do whatever I want with the song. He's not giving it up. And why should he? He says, not knowing these people trying to mess me and Glow over, I took her and the other girls into meetings to build bridges and people at the labels for future business proposals. I mentioned that we can take the meetings, but we don't have to sign. At this time, I'm also learning as I speak with people at the label. Despite me having a little bit of knowledge already, I made the mistake of talking too much in the meetings, which backfired on me and not anyone else. Eventually, I bounced back. Every time I got some game from the meetings, I put the girls on game. I offered my lawyer to her because she needed a lawyer, her deal that was presented to her, but I told her it could be a conflict of interest to use my lawyer, so she didn't have to use her if she didn't want to. If she didn't have to use her if she didn't want to. If I didn't say something first, her label would have made me look crazy. All respect will still be given to every party involved because I want to see everyone prosper, so I won't ever speak publicly on this situation anymore, but I'm not bending over for anybody. So here we go. This is my quick 2 cents on this. It looks like his whole purpose was to protect her and whoever else he did beats for until they got signed. So he was kind of like, I guess, the label whisperer until they signed with the label. And the song went bigger than they thought it went. So she got signed to the label, and now the label wants 100% rights of this song. And he's like, no. So he has every right not to give up rights if he doesn't want to. It's his money, it's studio time, it's his engineering. He doesn't have to do it if he doesn't want to, but that's only 50%. So my question is, what happened to the 50% that went to her? If she indeed gave that to her label, then that's on her. Like, how was she finagle out of the 50% of the F and F song, and how was it his fault that she signed it over? Now, and when she signed over the 50%, did she say, okay, well, we'll just, I think she gave her 50% up in hopes that he would give his 50% up to her, so she would still get 50% off the song. And he's like, no. And in my opinion, I feel like he had every right to do that. Why would I do that? Why would I do that? So my 2 cents is, yeah, when you are in deals and you're in stuff like that, educate yourself, or get a lawyer or a manager or someone that knows what's going on, so you don't get finagled out of your hard work, because the industry is for the industry. So I just kind of feel like she missed the mark on this part, and it kind of sucks for her, because her label is making 50%, because somehow they got her 50%, her share, and Hitkidd is getting 50%, and now she's fighting to get a morsel from her work. He worked on it and she worked on it, but yet she gets nothing from it. So when you're in the business, you just got to have coverage. You always have to like save yourself and make sure that you're educated on what's going on. You know what I'm saying? So I feel bad for her, but I really do hope that it does work out, because at the end of the day, that sucks. So okay, so we're gonna go into a commercial before we get into Kanye West, y'all. I'll be right back. This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. People often think anxiety looks one way, but it has many faces and many emotions that sometimes can be overwhelming and daunting. I know about this feeling all too well, because at a point I felt powerless to my emotions, almost to the point of drowning in them. So I decided to seek out a therapist, to later learn that I have generalized anxiety disorder. If you have been experiencing the same feeling, please know that BetterHelp is here to help. BetterHelp offers licensed therapists who are trained to listen and help you. You have the option of talking with a therapist in a private, online environment at your convenience. There is a broad range of expertise in BetterHelp's 20,000 plus therapist network that gives you access to help that may not be available in under 48 hours. All you have to do is fill out a questionnaire to help assess your specific need, and then you get matched with a therapist in under 48 hours. Then you will schedule secure video and phone sessions. Plus, you get to exchange unlimited messages, and everything you share is completely confidential. Thanks to therapy, I learned the tools that I needed to conquer my anxiety and over-obsessive thinking. I did it afraid, and I took that leap to talk with someone, to later learn that it was going to be okay and that I was going to be okay. Please know that you can request a new therapist at no additional charge anytime. Join the 3 million plus people who have taken charge of their mental health with an experienced BetterHelp therapist. And better yet, get 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/BYOK. That's betterhelp.com/BYOK, because you deserve it. You definitely do. If you want to try out BetterHelp and get 10% off the first month with them, please use this link, betterhelp.com/BYOK. Yes, and if you are on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button, that notification, that like button. If you're on Twitter, please follow me. Sharing is caring. Share the video if you like what you see. Okay, so we're going to get into a subject that I keep trying to avoid, but it's constantly on my feed. Kanye West. Now, I would just like to preface and say I did not watch that Champs interview, even though it is now like not on YouTube. I had no intentions of watching that, because I don't think that I could have mentally handled the things that are coming out of his mouth right now. Like, yeah, I don't think I could have handled it. But I did see snippets of some of the craziness that was said. And yeah, so courtesy of Abarius, if you don't follow him, you should, because he always does these little comics or whatever. And I thought that this was funny, because this was me hoping that this is what happened. You know, like maybe he just needed a chill bill, or someone like flipped the switch, and he's just. I just feel like this is just a polar opposite of who we know Kanye to be. Anyway, so this is Kanye saying, they told me I couldn't make pants for marshmallows, but they can't program me. I'm an Autobot out of disguise. This is similar to the crazy shit he said for real. Your mind is a spaceship and it loves you. Don't let the universe tell you spaghetti. I have a tree zebra. It's not a panda. It's a tree zebra. Wisconsin. And so this dude says, hey man, eat this, which is a Snickers. And then he's like, you sound like an effing lunatic when you're hungry. And he said, yep, it looks like I'll be carbo loading from now on. So we're just hoping that that Kanye is still in there somewhere. Whatever that is, the shell that he's in, like he's still in there somewhere. So I thought this was just so on point on what we were all thinking, like, what in the hell is your problem? So, courtesy of TMZ, this is one of the things he said that I wanted to bring up because why? You know, so George Floyd's daughter announces a $250 million lawsuit versus Kanye and sends a cease and desist. And before I get into this story, I did see a TikTok where the guy was like, well, he gave $2 million to George Floyd's daughter. So, and now they want to say something. What does that mean? Because somebody does something for you, that means that they have the key to disrespect you or disrespect the legacy of your family member? Just because somebody does something for you, that does not give them an open door to treat you any kind of way. I just want to put that out there. So anyway, George Floyd's young daughter, her mother, and their legal team are preparing to wage legal war against Kanye, announcing they'll sue him for $250 million after his recent comments on Floyd's death. Roxy Washington, the mother of Floyd's only daughter, Gianna, announced Tuesday she's hired a team of lawyers to go after Ye, his business partners, and his associates for harassment, misappropriation, defamation, and infliction of emotional distress. And they're seeking $250 million. They already have given him a cease and desist. The letter reads in part, Mr. Floyd's cause of death is well settled through evidence presented in courts of law during the criminal and civil trials that were the result of his untimely and horrific death. Nevertheless, you have maliciously made statements that are inaccurate and unfounded, causing damage to Mr. Floyd's estate and his family. Kanye taking a ton of heat from comments he made on an episode of Drink Champs, claiming George died from a fentanyl overdose and pre-existing conditions instead of Derek Chauvin's knee on his neck. And I'm not playing this because I don't want to hear it. The Floyd family says Kanye's statements are blatantly false and malicious. We already said that. In the cease and desist, the family's lawyers demand Kanye remove the interview and all of his similar statements on George from the internet and keep Floyd's name out of his mouth. The interview is no longer on YouTube. So if you didn't watch it, you missed it. But somebody recorded it. It's somewhere out there. I can promise you that. So here's what the lawyer had to say. It's so serious.
So what say you about what Kanye said and what the family of George Floyd might do?
Well, just personally, I was really extremely disappointed. And it's I guess, a bit strange to be continually disappointed by Kanye West. But I didn't hear about his statements until Sunday morning when the brother of George Floyd, Clonus, gave me a call and said he was irate. He was extremely hurt by the statements that Kanye West made.
Okay.
I had to go look up the interview and see that he was now blaming it.
What is going on? Let's see. Oh, guys, they're going to start over. Okay, while we're waiting on that, okay.
I did for myself.
Do you guys see The Cleaner? The cleaning lady? That's a really good show. I know that that's off subject, but that is a really good show. Let's see if we can get back to the lawyer after this. Shameless plug, Fox. Okay, here we go.
What Kanye said and what the family of George Floyd might do.
Well, just personally, I was really extremely disappointed. And it's I guess, a bit strange to be continually disappointed by Kanye West. But I didn't hear about his statements until Sunday morning when the brother of George Floyd, Clonus, gave me a call and said he was irate. He was extremely hurt by the statements that Kanye West made. I had to go look up the interview and see that he was now blaming a drug overdose, a theory that was well debunked in court, as you all pointed out, something that is clearly not the reason that George Floyd died. He died as a result of Derek Chauvin's knee and the other officers compressing his body in a prone position. And now he's promulgating those statements anew in a way that is, it almost seems designed to cause the family distress. And so they reached out to me, specifically his brother, and asked that we begin to investigate whether or not we can restrain him from making such statements and hold him accountable for the misinformation that he's putting out there.
How serious are they about doing something against Kanye West?
I know that Philonise Floyd, for example, was about it that I said we were considering lawsuit. He is absolutely committed to bringing lawsuit, and I've heard from other members of the family who are represented by various parties saying that they are absolutely 100% moving forward with litigation against Kanye West and anyone else who would defend George Floyd and his reputation.
Part of what makes this so upsetting for the family is that after George was murdered, Kanye West was one of many people, celebrities, who reached out, and I believe he even made a donation to pay for George's daughter's college tuition. So I know there was some appreciation that was expressed by the family back then, and then now to hear him saying things like this.
You know, that actually did come up in the conversation I had with Philonise. A part of the conversation was Wanda Cooper Jones, Ahmaud Arbery's mother, and those families, the Floyd family and the Arbery family, are friends. And when this kind of injury takes place, when someone undermines their movement, they support each other. The two of them called me together and they said that they saw Kanye West as a friend. And that's why this was personal for them. That it wasn't just some random person who hasn't had an action with family, who didn't know themselves as supporter to make this, but this was someone who has offered them their support in the past, which almost legitimizes his extreme views. And you know, they've asked that, with that in mind, that we pursue litigation against Kanye.
That's why I think this is so backwards, because he was in Chicago when there was a protest. So he walked during the George Floyd protest. He donated money to, you know, to the, like, and it's just so weird. Like, he's just going super right. And I don't know if he's just doing this for a wow factor, but it comes to the point of when you're just irresponsible with your influence, like you're irresponsible with your platform and your impact, and how you are like, like just single-handedly like pissing everybody off and stepping on people's toes and desecrating like pain and past trauma just for the sake of being you. Like, what is your end goal? And I said this before in a past episode, like, what is your end goal? What are you trying to convey, and what are you trying to do besides just continuously like shred your legacy and shred your reputation within the Black community? Because can he come back from this? He's been able to bounce back from a lot of stuff that he's done and a lot of stuff that he said, but can he bounce back from this? I honestly do not think so. Like, I honestly really do not think so. And the reason why this is just like a pain in the neck is because this stuff is still happening present day. So does that just minimize things that are happening present day? For instance, like Jaheim McMillian, which I'm going to talk about later, you know, where he was just shot down for no reason. McMillian, I'm sorry. Well, he was just shot down for no reason. You know, like, what? So we'll get into that in a little bit. But Jaguar, right, she said something that resonated with me about Kanye. And if you saw The Genius Netflix, this is the Kanye that we knew. We don't really know who the heck this person is right now. But Jaguar Wright says this post is in no way co-signs anti-Semitism, hate speech against any race and culture, or Candace Owens for that matter. These are simply my personal views on what I do connect to regarding the artist formerly known as Kanye West. Jesus. So, after watching the Drink Champs conversation featuring Ye, as he prefers to be called now, thanks Jaguar, I had to double back and witness this BYOK once more, especially taking into consideration Ye himself admitted he didn't sign off on the project. which threw me for a loop, seeing how intimate some of the footage was. Eureka! This is why I pay attention to a good share of Ye's commentary. Truth is, call him crazy all you want. There is a great method to his madness. When he was Kanye, just before he would announce for release something new, this man would pull the most outrageous stunts. Guess what? It works like magic every time. The public falls for it. Then they eat it up just to vomit it all over over the internet about how crazy and reckless he is. His biggest haters wear his clothes and his shoes as well as buy his music. And guess what else? If Ye decided to design space lasers, they would all buy them too. I agree. I just hope people really listen to what he's actually saying. And I can tell he's still holding back on some of the details of his reality. I totally get it. The difference between Ye and myself at this time in life is he's a billionaire and I'm not. I must be one of the bravest because if he's talking about killers coming for him with all the protection billions can provide, then my personal security has to be top priority for a non-billionaire like myself. The evil that feeds the game is real. Trust me, it ain't all entertainment. I'm praying for you, Ye, not praying on you. May God continue to bless and keep you as well, all in love. I get what she's saying, but I don't. Like, I still don't know what the end. Like, if people are still supporting him after all of this, then I just really don't understand it. Like, I do love his music, and I'm sitting here as a diehard Kanye fan, and I have went to bat for him. I have had presented a rebuttal for everything he's done in the past. I just don't understand this. And instead of ridiculing him, I literally do pray for him because I don't know what's going on. I do not know what's going on, and none of us do. And instead of like giving this power and feeding it throughout the internet, I think if people don't react when things like this happen, maybe it'll stop. But people are not going to not react because he does it for the sake of a reaction. You know what I'm saying? Like I was telling my friend, I'm like, I think, when a person get away with something for so long, all you're doing is making them more invincible by the second, more invincible by the second. So, okay, when he said, Bush don't like black people, we laughed it off. When the Taylor Swift thing happened, we laughed it off. Then it just kept getting high. Then when he said we chose, like black people chose slavery, we was like, dude, you tripping. Dude, you tripping. Ha ha ha. And we just kept continuing and kept continuing. And so we're feeding the madness every time that we're paying attention and giving energy to the crazy stuff that's being said. So before I get off of him, I just wanted to get into why we all fell in love with him in the first place. These are 45 quotes. I'm only going to read the first 5 because I just had to take my mind back there. Like when one of his first quotes is, "We're all self-conscious. I'm just the first to admit it. My greatest pain in life is that I will never be able to see myself perform live. Okay. Nothing in life is promised except death. I still think I am the greatest." It's his ego. You see his ego. I'll say things that are serious and put them in a joke form so people can enjoy them. We laugh to keep from crying. But it was something on here he said about his ego that I really think that recognize and embrace your flaws so you can learn from them. Sometimes it takes a little polishing to truly shine. But it was something that he said about his ego, and I put it on my Twitter, matter of fact. It'll be easier for me to find it. And I think that this best explains him. Because one thing about him is I think he knows himself. He just doesn't know how to save. He doesn't know how to save him from him. Like he knows that this is out of control, but I feel like he lacks the endurance to save him from himself. But anyway, he said it himself. He said, "One of the biggest Achilles heel has been my ego. And if I, Kanye West, can remove my ego, I think there's hope for everyone else." So when you're battling with ego and when you're battling with bipolar and you're battling with depression and trauma and whatever else he's going through, all you can do is pray for a person like that, So what are your thoughts on that situation? And I'm like, I don't even want to talk anymore about that. So I kind of feel like after, kind of like Hitkidd, like after that, I just don't have any more comments. All I'm doing is sending positive energy and prayers his way to his kids and things of that sort, because I don't know. It just doesn't seem like him. So speaking, and since we are here, and this is why Black Lives Matter is important. Like I said earlier, this is courtesy of CNN. The fatal shooting of a 15-year-old boy by police in Mississippi is under state investigations. So the Mississippi Bureau of Investigations has launched a probe regarding a police officer shooting and killing a teenager earlier this month in the city of Gulfport. Police says as attorneys for the teen's family called for video footage of the incident to be released. Law enforcement officers responded to a 911 call on October 6th of multiple people in a vehicle brandishing firearms. Gulfport Police Chief Adam Cooper said it was a news briefing this week. When police arrived and made contact with the vehicle, members of the group left the vehicle and attempted to flee. An officer then fired at an armed suspect identified by the police as Jaheim McMillian, who pointed a weapon in their direction. McMillian, 15, was struck in the head and later died after being taken off life support, according to a news release. He was taken off life support without his mother's consent, FYI. According to the news release, the officer who fired and struck McMillian has been placed on non-enforcement duties. Why is he still working? The Mississippi Bureau of Investigation is currently assessing this critical incident and gathering evidence. Upon completing their investigation, agents will share their findings with the local attorney general's office. Police have not publicly released any footage of the shooting. Crump calls on officials to release all video so that we can see with our own eyes what transpired on that tragic night. This child had his whole life ahead of him, but bullets from those officers took all possibility of that away in an instant, Crump said. While much remains unknown about this case, we fully intend to put pressure on officials in Mississippi until the family gets the answers they need and deserve. So because this is such a I feel it's cut and dry that the officers were wrong, I found a video that I wanted to play that explained more in detail like what happened, and even on the family's Instagram there are actually like witnesses that are saying what happened, yet it's under thorough investigation. So before I play it, this is just a copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowances made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. So let me share this and share the sound. And we're just going to listen to the public defender who is actually giving more detail on what happened. So here we go.
Tell you what happened to a 15-year-old black boy named Jaheim McMillian on October 6th. But I have to, because not only is it shameful the way that the police in this country treats black people, but the way that the media and social media are co-conspirators in keeping the messages suppressed. Because this child was not only killed on October 6th by Mississippi police, but since then, all the eyewitnesses, his mother, his sister, his family members have had their Facebook accounts restricted so that they can't tell the story. But on October 6th, Jaheim McMillian, a 15-year-old, went to his Family Dollar down the block from his own house. He walked out. Multiple eyewitnesses have said this. He walked out of the Family Dollar with his hands up when he saw the police. Hands up, nothing in his hand. And they shot that 15-year-old boy in the head and left his body there and handcuffed him. And then when his mother came to the scene, they tried to handcuff his own mother. They shot that child 8 times. 8 times they shot that child. And then when he was put on life support, his mother says that he was removed off of life support without his mother's permission. They shot and killed her child, and they took him off of life support.
I'm Ray, and welcome back to Rebel HQ. That was public defender and political commentator Olaimi Olurin sounding the alarm on the brutal police murder of Jaheim McMillian. 15-year-old Jaheim was walking out of Family Dollar when he saw the police, put his hands in the air, and then was shot in the head 8 times. The police then handcuffed his dead body and left him laying on the sidewalk. Despite the fact that there are multiple eyewitness accounts that corroborate that he had his hands in the air when he was shot and that his hands were empty, there was no weapon. Those stories have been suppressed by the police and by social media. Olurin stated in her video that the mother's social media accounts have been limited, so she is not able to get these videos out, but she wants them to be spread far and wide. Here are 2 eyewitness accounts from the day of Jaheim's murder.
So you say you saw what happened?
I saw the cop shoot the guy.
Did he have a gun on him?
I did not see a gun on him.
And the baby was coming out the store. Jaheim was coming out the
He
store.
was coming out of the store with his
And my
hands
other
up.
son, with his hands up.
With his hands up.
Was he asked for his hands to go up?
Pardon me?
Was he asked to put his hands up?
I did not hear that. I had just pulled in and I saw it happen.
So let me get this straight. He came out surrendering, yet he got shot in his head for 8 times. Okay. Let's go to the second witness.
Man, look at the little man up there on the ground, man. By the door, man. The police over on shot the motherfucker, man. Child had nothing in his hand, man. What type of shit, man? What type of shit, man? Man, look at him shot the man in the head.
They shot him in the head, bro. I'm sitting
Man.
there watching him.
The kid had nothing in his head, man. This what the police out here doing, man. Y'all had let these kids run these streets. This what the going on, man. These kids, these motherfuckers doing this.
That's so sad, man. Then they gonna handcuff him, bro.
Then still got him handcuffed right now. Got the man handcuffed right now, man. Hey, man.
Here you see the witness from the previous video enter the scene, which corroborates her story that she was there when it happened.
Right.
Come on. He coming. What's up, bro? Yeah, they shot by 8 times. I heard it over there. I heard it right over there. And I'm like, what the f*** instead of the track forward? Man, bro, the police just shot a little dude over here at Family Dollar, man.
Yeah, they shot him.
Yeah. And then they got the man handcuffed over here, man. They done shot the man.
They shot that man from that.
I can't get mad for some of y'all, I can't get mad for some of y'all. Yeah. Y'all need to be getting on the one who shot that little boy. That's what y'all need to be doing. Hello? Hey, look, don't touch that man, bro.
The police claimed that Jaheim was waving a gun around the Family Dollar, but the employees of the Family Dollar, including the manager, says that that is untrue. Conveniently, the security cam footage is gone, and the police are apparently refusing to release the body cam footage. This mother lost her child. She deserves answers.
Yes, she definitely does. And this is what I mean by being impactful and not being not misusing your impact. Not misusing your impact. While you're talking about someone who died, there's some other instances happening over the nation while you're minimizing a national problem. You know, from this it gathers that Jaheim just came outside from Family Dollar, had his hands up, surrendered, and they shot him 8 times because they said that he was armed. Then after doing that, they handcuffed him. He's dead, and they handcuffed him. Where was he going? Then they put him on life support, took him off life support without the mother's approval. Just a lot of things wrong. And then there's witnesses. So that's why I don't understand why it's a deep investigation, because clearly this seems kind of cut and dry to me. So if you want to read more and keep up with that, there is a hashtag going out, hashtag justice for Jaheim, if you want to continue to keep up with, you know, what's going on with that. And they also have a fund me out to bury him. I think it's up to like $9,000 last time I checked. So you can also find that if you put the hashtag in Instagram. That's the only social media site that I put the hashtag in. So my heart goes out to the family as they mourn, and all the families that have lost their family members to just senseless shooting by the hands of law enforcement. So yeah, before we get into this last topic, which I don't know if it's light, but it's kind of lighter than this. I normally don't tell stories like this, but I really been following it, and you know, I'm just sick of the senseless violence. Okay, so we're gonna do the last commercial, and then we'll be right back. If you've been wondering how you can help the BYOK platform, you want to know more? Here are 3 ways that you can support my platform. Number 1, share. This is the best option because it's free. All you have to do is press the button, share here, share there, and if you want to take it a step further, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thanks in advance. The second thing is we have Ko-fi, which is a platform where you can donate a matcha tea, $3 at the least. anything, any money that you have given into the platform, we thank you and we appreciate it. No amount is too small, and of course, no amount is too big. And then the third thing, subscribe to our mailing list. Another great thing. Also, all of the content that is in the newsletter will not always be posted on social media. As always, thank you for your support, and as always, be sure to be kind to yourself and each other. Yay. Listening to me in the video. If you are on YouTube, please subscribe. Please hit that like button and that notification button so you can be aware of any time that I'm live or I am posting pre-recorded videos. Also, you can follow me on all social media sites at BYOK24, and you can join our mailing list or our Facebook group. You find all of that stuff on BeYourOwnKind.com. Okay, we are on to the last subject. Okay, I wasn't going to mention this, but it was just so much on this. This is Nicki Minaj and Latto. So the reason why I'm bringing this up, because I feel like it kind of aligns to what I was saying about Ye, like being responsible with your platform. To be honest, I feel like both of them were wrong. Recording conversations, calling Latto a Karen, and she's looking old. I just kind of feel like this could have been settled amicably. Even in the fact of, because Nicki is older, sometimes you have to bite the bullet. Even if you do feel wronged or whatever the situation was, you are the older person and she's in her 20s. So if this is somebody that idolizes you, why not be responsible with that? However, when Latto, released her recorded conversation, she kept going. She attacked her family, and this is when everything just went awry. Now, how did all of this start? Now, mind you, everybody thinks that this started off of what Nicki was saying about the Grammys. However, these two have been subtweeting weeks before that. That hashtag is giving coke. That went viral. That was something that Latto put on there. And Nicki and them, they've been subtweeting for weeks, but I guess enough was enough with this. So here is what's going on. So Nicki Minaj has offered up her definition of the term Karen, using it as a derogatory reference to Latto during a recent spat on Twitter. So Nicki hit up Instagram Live in conversation with a podcaster to address her views as they pertain to beef with Latto that popped off on social media in the late hours of October 13th, because don't nobody have nothing else better to do. During the heated back and forth with Latto, Nicki called big energy rapper a Karen twice and is now explaining why she feels that way by implying that Latto's sweet and innocent demeanor is nothing more than a front. Now, a lot of people would agree with that, because if you watched what was that show with Jermaine Dupri? I can't think of it, but if you watch that show on Lifetime, what is that? Okay, it's killing me. I gotta look it up. What was that Jermaine Dupri show? Jermaine, how you spell Dupri? Dupri Lifetime show. Let me see. It was called The Rap Game. So if you watch The Rap Game, yeah, Latto was really bullying the younger kids and the kids that didn't write, kind of similar to Nicki. So being a Karen is more than being manipulative and being passive aggressive, says Nicki. This is an example. It's a great example if you think about it. The white people and white women have used it for years, and that's why the term was created. If a white woman living in a white neighborhood sees a black man, and this goes back for years and years, if that woman accuses that black man of doing something, she knows that when that white police officer comes, he's going to arrest the black man, because there's already a stereotype of the black man being all of these negatives. So she can easily pretend to be innocent and sweet in front of the cop, because she knows that the cop don't like that black man either. So what Latto is saying is, what Nicki is saying is Latto is not who she portrays herself to be, because in the video, it's such old news. I'm sure most people have seen it circulate now, but in the video that she recorded of Latto's and Nicki's conversation, Latto was really nice and she was polite while Nicki was going off. But like I was telling a friend earlier, if I am recording somebody, of course I'm going to be on my best behavior, because my whole point of recording is to prove that this person is a maniac and I got good sense. So of course, if you if you know that it's a recording, you're gonna be on your best behavior. So I don't know if that was an actual like representation of how she would have acted in, being verbally attacked had she not been recording the conversation. You know what I'm saying? So, and it was part of the conversation. So we don't even know, we didn't hear the whole conversation for like full context. So that's my little opinion on that. So Nicki continues to say, so she could come on the black man's property, she can curse, she can antagonize people, and then she can pretend that she's the sweetest person on the planet. That's what being a Karen is all about. And I'm not speaking about any specific person. That's what Karens do. But you're talking about Latto. So we see it on the videos all the time. So if you knew you were lying on me, right, and then got me attacked while you played innocent, that's what Karens mean. So that's why she called her a Karen, I guess. So the aforementioned Twitter beef between Nicki and Latto began last Thursday when Latto caught a stray in the middle of a social media rant from Nicki after it was announced that the Grammy Awards committee excluded her #1 charting single Super Freaky Girl from the rap category, deeming the song a pop record. Well, here's the thing. If Super Freaky Girl is supposed to be a pop record, so should Big Energy. I don't know. They both sound popish to me. The Queens, New York MC explained that in her opinion, Latto's 2021 hit song Big Energy should also be removed from Grammy consideration in the rap category if that's the way the Grammys want to play it. But here's the thing. You cannot tell them what to do you cannot tell them what to do and what category to put it in. If you put your song or submitted your song in, I don't think you have any control of what they do. And if you do have control over that, then you would take that up with them. And I think the fact that Nicki and Latto was subtweeting each other for weeks, and the fact that she brought up Big Energy in the tweet or Twitter or whatever, I think that is what caused all of this strife. So Nicki said, I have no problem being moved out of the rap category as long as we are all being treated fairly. If Super Freaky Girl has to be moved out of rap, then so does Big Energy. Anyone who says different is simply a Nicki hater or a troll. I don't think that would be true. I'd actually love to see a more street record win or female. I'm just saying, right is right. So as we know, they went back and forth. So that's just a little content of what was going on all weekend. So meanwhile, Variety thought it was a great idea to put their 2 cents in on this, and it just made it go longer. So So Variety says Nicki is on the Grammy ballot for rap categories, just not for Super Freaky Girl, which is kind of invalidating what she said. So it says the fact that Nicki Minaj Super Freaky Girl was shifted out of the Grammys rap categories and into the pop division on a preliminary ballot has nearly resulted in an international incident, given the ensuing publicity and controversy as voting began this week. It certainly resulted in this year's most visible hip-hop feud with the fiery words of Nicki and Latto, which we talked about. Big Energy stayed as a rap contender and was not bounced to pop. So the idea, what the implication of this is, they want Latto to win. So this is why they removed Nicki's out of the category. Like that's what she's implying here. And Latto has been getting a lot of heat from hip hop artists. If you don't know, like for the BET Awards, her song, which nobody heard of, according to my sister, won over Gremlin, Kodak Black's Gremlin. Now we know Kodak Black Gremlin is like super huge. It's still playing on the radio, and that song's been out for a really long time. So Kodak could not understand how he lost to her. So he went on a whole rampage, and a couple of other rappers were saying how she didn't deserve it and this and that. Yet they didn't receive the same energy as Nicki. I just say, hey, I get it, but I understand the frustration, but if she won, she won. Latto is just as hardworking as everybody else out there. You know what I'm saying? So she can't control that she can't control the votes. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people are just like, the industry is just setting up for her to win. But she's been out here doing tours. She's been out here doing features and all type of stuff. Like I've been seeing Latto all summer, you know what I'm saying? But it says, as you can see, I am not on any side. I am just giving my opinion on this. So, but Here we go. So Grammy voters who received their ballots tell Variety that Minaj is in contention in the Best Rap Performance category for another song of hers, Do We Have a Problem?, which has a featured appearance from Lil Baby. The Grammys Rap Screening Committee apparently considered this more of a true hip-hop song and Super Freaky Girl more pop in nature, splitting the difference. She never said that she didn't think Super Freaky Girl was a pop song. She says that Big Energy is also a pop song and not a true hip hop song. That is what she said. We have to read what people are saying before we jump to conclusions. So it says, Do We Have a Problem was a substantial hit. I do like that song. Do We Got a Problem? Although not quite as mammoth as Super Freaky Girl, which went number one this summer on the Billboard's Hot 100. Do We Have a Problem came out in February and soared to number 2 on that chart. Minaj has already been awarded for it. The Problem video won a Best Hip Hop Video trophy at the MTV Video Music Awards in August. In fact, Minaj makes several more appearances on the rap part of the Grammy ballot, although several are for collaborative songs on which she was considered more of a featured artist and may not have been involved in making the Grammy submissions. So they're going on Blick Blick, a track she shared with Coyle Ray. That was on the ballot for Best Rap Performance and Best Rap Song. Similarly, Loving the Way, a song she did with Blue, is listed among the eligible songs for Best Rap Song and Most Melodic Rap Performance. In both cases, Minaj is listed as a featured artist, not the primary name, although when these two respective songs came out, she shared top billing rather than taking the featured credit. So, it says altogether Minaj appears 8 times on the ballot, once in a pop category, twice in a music video, and 5 times in rap categories. However, the fact that she has other shots at being nominated and winning in the rap division does not alloy her, and others believe that Super Freaky Girl remains her best shot at picking up something, and that its best shot might have been in the far less crowded rap category. So they're thinking it's the opposite. Instead of them moving her moving that song out of the rap category for Latto to win, they moved her in the pop category so that Nicki could win. This is what Variety is saying. It says, however, Minaj's apparent belief that she has bounced out of rap in order to clear path for Latto's Big Energy may not entirely hold water. It's not clear at all that Super Freaky Girl and Big Energy ever would have contended in the same category. I disagree with that. They both sound popish. And they both like sample popish songs. Like Super Freaky Girl pop is what Rick James, and then Big Energy is Mariah Carey, who is the queen of pop. Anyway, because while it's being rumored that Super Freaky Girl was originally submitted by Minaj's camp for Best Rap Performance, then rejected, Big Energy is not included in that category either. The Latto song is on the ballot under the separate category of Best Melodic Rap Performance. Oh, okay. And here's where it gets complicated. Latto does have a song on the ballot for Best Rap Performance, but it's Sunshine, which features of Lil Wayne and Childish Gambino. I like that song, Sunshine on Me. Latto also appears in that category. For 2 songs on which she was featured artist Man Your Business by Lakaya and Booty by Saucy Santana. And I did love Latto verse on that. So while there is a Nicki versus Latto showdown potentially looming in the rap performance category, it will be for Do We Have a Problem versus Sunshine, and was never destined to be a Super Freaky Girl versus Big Energy matchup. Got all that? Yeah, I did. The irony here, perhaps, amid the Minaj Latto flip, is that neither of them would be considered a runaway frontrunner in the rap performance category in the face of Kendrick Lamar's The Heart Part 5 being on the ballot there. Lamar has 14 Grammys under his belt, 5 of which were for Best Rap Performance. So they're saying all this arguing is for nothing, because they may not even get it. So on top of the aforementioned song entries in rap categories, Latto has 777 entered for the Best Rap Album. Minaj did not have an album released this year, with the 4 tracks she has in contention all being one-offs or appearing on collaborators' albums. I get what everybody is saying in this. That does make sense. However, Nicki can still feel how she wants to feel about it. Everyone is like, well, I don't understand why she feels. Here's the thing. Latto can feel how she wants to feel about it. Nicki can feel how she wants to feel about it. Here is the thing. There are a lot of artists that wish that they could have been nominated. So I think that's just a slap in the face to the people that, you know, worked hard and didn't even get a nomination. They submitted their work and they weren't in any category. But because they were in any category, I see what Nicki is saying, that, you know, that equality is kind of lopsided with the Grammy Academy, but according to her, it's always been that way. I do believe she does deserve a Grammy just for her hard work. Just for her hard work and her breaking barriers into pop and, you know, and brand deals. And like Nicki really, you know, she set a bar. She set a bar. So I do think she deserves a Grammy no matter what the heck the song is. But I do understand what she's saying. So she did not like what Variety said, which is why we read through that. There was a method to my madness. So Nicki says the Grammys gaslit her audience. She also stated that her songs "Do We Have a Problem" and "Blick Blick" are not nominations, only submissions. They're telling me to see the previous post. Oh, here it is. Let me get to the right one. Sorry, y'all can't see what I see. So, courtesy of Mob's World or Mob Radio, Nicki Minaj said, this is for Variety. This is gaslighting at its finest. And even when I responded to this post, specifically the Shade Room is not posting that part of my live. This is done constantly to make people look crazy. So she's like, y'all just out here to make me look crazy. So the Shade Room says, don't count her out. Nicki Minaj had an internet in shambles last week when she called out the Grammys for moving her hit Super Freaky Girl from the rap category to pop, and it looks like the stunt may have gotten their attention. According to a recent report from Variety, which we just read, Grammy voters who received their ballots reportedly say that Nicki is in contention in the best rap performance category for another song of hers. The song in question is her single "Do We Have a Problem?" And the bop dropped in February and landed in number 2 on the Billboard chart. The Queen isn't done yet. Variety also reports she will make several more appearances on the rap part of the Grammy ballot for collaborative songs. She says, this is Nicki Minaj, as in she, the Grammy is having blogs post that Variety article to distract you from the fact that Super Freaky Girl was unfairly moved from the rap category while other poppy rap songs remain in the rap category. They're having blog posts that I pulled a stunt and that it worked because Do We Have a Problem is being submitted in rap categories. But what does Super Freaky Girl have to do with that? And I agree. This does not invalidate what she said about that song. So instead of putting that song back, they just put a whole nother song on there just to shut her up. So this is what she's saying. So, yeah. So Nicki is just telling us, like, basically, don't believe the hype. So, she did have something to say. We're going to get into this, and then I want to get into a topic kind of close to this, like about all of this arguing on Twitter and why everybody is getting sick of it. But here we go with Nicki saying.
Right. Yeah, it'd be Anaconda's record, right?
After you and above, say Nick, men lie, women lie, numbers don't. Never forget that.
Never will. So, but listen to this, Mackie. Instead of the Grammys coming out and simply saying, we're not going to change our decision because we honestly don't give it, they said, well, we're not going to respond to why we moved Super Freaky Girl into a pop category. We're just going to tell all the Black people in the hip hop culture that, well, Nicki is nominated in the rap category. She's nominated in the rap category for Do We Have a Problem? She's nominated in the rap category for Blick Blick. By the way, these are not nominations, y'all. So this is another way that they're gaslighting y'all. These are not nominations. These are songs that record companies submit to be a nomination. Okay? I was talking about Super Freaky Girl, yet the Grammys have not responded about Super Freaky Girl. They've only gaslit y'all into directing your attention to Do We Have a Problem? What does Do We Have a Problem have to do with Super Freaky Girl?
Nothing.
I'll say that again. What does Do We Have a Problem have to do with Super Freaky Girl? The answer is nothing. So I go on there and there are women saying, oh yeah, she begged. She made a big deal, so they just gave it to. I know y'all not talking about the best of all time, Nicki Minaj. I know y'all not thinking who peed in a Grammy? Like, who spoke against the Grammy many times? So many men have, you know, whether it was Kanye, whether it was Drake, who said, no, why are you putting Hotline Bling in a rap category? And they still continue to nominate him.
Yeah.
No one said anything.
He actually won a Grammy the year that Ye peed in his Grammy. He won a Grammy for his album.
Or bad. He stood up for what he believed in, and he was right. He took the right stance. You know, because he's like, why would you put me in a rap category and take away an award from rappers when Hotline Bling is not a rap song, right? So, moral of the story is this. They just gaslit my fans, Mac, into telling them, well, she is out. Do we have a problem in the rap category? So, yeah. So, therefore, we're supposed to say, forget about the reason she spoke about this at all. And let's just say, oh, thanks for calling Do We Have a Problem rap Grammys. Thank you. Like, y'all, come on. We got to start acting smarter. We have to start reading to understand and to comprehend. So this week, it'd be Anaconda's record, right?
Right. So, I agree with her because I just said that before she said that. It doesn't really solve or address what she was saying. And so she feels, and we'll get to Nicki because I don't need to speak for Nicki because she loves the social media. She says it was done to decrease my chances of winning awards for Super Freaky Girl. It was done to remove me from the category that they don't want competition in. They are all scared to death of the success of that song and thought it would be super easy for them like it's been for the last few years. But Super Freaky Girl is such a global smash, certain members are afraid to keep it in the competition. That song is big. I do hear that song all the time, and that's going to be on commercials and all. That's a commercialized song. A commercialized song. So, you know, I understand what she's saying, and I get what she's saying. That doesn't address what she was actually saying, you know. So, they just pretty much threw her in there and say shut up, but they still didn't move the Super Freaky Girl out of that category. So what are your thoughts on that? I mean, it's just a lot, but I wasn't going to get into what the two said because that's been the weekend thing. So what I feel that would make Nicki or Latto look better, especially Nicki, if when she calms down, if she reached out to Latto and they had a unrecorded conversation, and she just, you know, take responsibility for her part, you know, and reach out, because I think you never should be too old or too young to reach out to somebody when you just went out of pocket and you know that this girl looks up to you and you're in your 40s. And when you're older, you have a responsibility to reach back. You know, when she was in her 20s, if it wasn't for an older person reaching out to her and calming her down with her attitude, you know, she wouldn't be where she is. So it comes a point when you're 40 that you reach back out to Latto and you explain your point of view, and maybe we could have been about it another way. Like, I just feel like that's the bigger thing to do. Even if they did a live, because this was all publicly, if they went live and actually hashed it out like she did with JT, why not do that for Latto? If it's just about that and it's not about what everybody's saying it is, jealousy and stuff, why can't they have a conversation? This is also how I feel about Cardi and Nicki. How powerful would it be if those two actually got on the live and hashed it out? Because what is it all about? A song that came out years ago. When did Motorsport come out? You know what I'm saying? What happened with the knot on Cardi? That was Raleigh. You know what I'm saying? Like, how powerful would it be if the ladies just settled it? If Nicki and Cardi, who are the top, like, they're so influential, if they would just settle it, then maybe the girls underneath them won't feel the stress of having to pick a side. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the problem. Like, the girls like both of them, but they're trying to pick us. They don't know what to do. They're trying to pick a side because they don't want the Barty gang. And like, I just think this is all ridiculous. And I think that they're more mature and older. You know, I feel like they're old enough to just hash it out. And then you don't have to. Here's the thing: when you are reconciling and you're forgiving someone, that doesn't mean you go hold hands and skip in the valley. But it does mean that we have a mutual understanding and that we can coexist in the same space for the sake of peace. For the sake of peace. And over the last couple of weeks, all you seeing is one female coming at the other, another female coming at the other, and it's not even in the music. It's all on like, if you put it in the music, it would be more understandable. That's what Akbar decided to do. But I'm just saying, like, I just don't understand what is the end goal? What is this all about? So I do have an article that talked about feuds, but I'm not even gonna get into that. What I want to say is keep it in the music, but this stuff shouldn't be personal. It should just be business. And it just seemed like with all of these feuds online, that is all personal. That is all personal. And we're saying we want to look strong as a unit, as women, sisterhood, and this and that. And I made a point before I leave. I just want to make a point. We have Megan Thee Stallion, who is not in any of this, but who has almost broken down in SNL. She said that she's stressed out. You know, she's fighting mental health. She's missing her family. She's going through a lawsuit. Why is there no camaraderie of everybody reaching out to her instead of all of this crazy stuff? Because she's a woman and she's going through something. Where is the support there? Where is the support? This girl is drowning, and she has said she is drowning. Yeah, we're arguing back and forth, and I'm not saying people are not valid to post whatever they want to post, but there should be some type of collective, some type of girls' night, some type of all the female rappers sending love out to Megan. Or I think Latto was the only one I saw. It could have been others, but Latto was the only person I saw on Twitter that was like, you know, we rocking with you, we're with you. Where is that for her? No matter how you feel about her, the fact that she's a woman and she's a black woman, and you can resonate with her struggle as being a black woman, where is the support there? We can't talk sisterhood and we can't talk love if we picking and choosing who we love and who we're connecting with. Love is no respect of persons. Even if we're just associates, if I see that you're hurting as your sister, it's my responsibility to talk to you and make sure you're okay. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's what's missing in a sister. That's what's missing with these upcoming female rappers. That's what's missing with the upcoming male rappers, because they be arguing too. Don't think that that's not, just because they're not highlighted don't mean they don't be doing little snags online either. And I think that it's hard for me to kind of adjust to this, because there was no social media and no Twitter when I was growing up. You know, if somebody had a problem with somebody, it's beef. It's in the song. We knew that Pac and Biggie didn't get along because they released songs saying they didn't get along. We knew that Jay-Z and Nas didn't get along because it was in the music. Even when NWA, it was in the music. It was in the music. They kept it in the music. So whatever happened outside, we didn't know about it until maybe later, or unfortunately with the unnecessary death of Biggie and Tupac. You know what I'm saying? We didn't find all that out till later. You know, so I just kind of feel with the pandemic and everything that's going on, it's just time out for that, because there are people out there hurting, and you have a platform and you have people that are following you and that are looking up to you and that needs encouragement, but we're just stuck on stuff that don't matter. So that is my soapbox talk. So I just think that those are my two suggestions. If Latto and Nicki can hash it out on live, that would be perfect. If even Nicki and Cardi can just come to some type of middle ground, like, girls, you can love both of us. If one of them can just say that, you know, I think this whole you gotta like Nicki, you gotta like Cardi would end. But that's the thing, do they want that? Cardi and Nicki would have to want that. So I get it if it's entertaining, if it's in the songs, I get that. But this stuff is starting to seem personal. This is not business. This is all looking personal for me. So that's all I have to say about that. And I know that's the nature of hip hop, beefing and going back and forth. But what makes it part of hip hop is if it's in the song. That's all I'm saying. So it is midnight.
It's morning.
We're gonna let it go. Okay. It is morning. It is midnight, y'all, and I gotta go to bed. But I thank you for spending time with me. I will be back tomorrow with some more topics. Always trying to put personal development in there somewhere. So hopefully you caught a nugget. And if you are on YouTube, I'm gonna say it again. Subscribe, hit the like button, hit the notification button, and you can follow me on Be Your Own Kind 24 everywhere. And if you want to join our mailing list, we have a store. We got some stuff going on the website, beyourownkind.com. And until tomorrow, have a wonderful day and be sure to be kind to yourself and each other. Bye.